Hey everybody, I am David, and today I'm going to be talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what order you should be watching these films in, because I'm sure there are a lot of you that probably haven't even started watching one film yet, and you're probably wondering, where the hell do I start? Or maybe you watched one film and you're confused at where to go next, and something like that, right? So this is going to be my video for you, to help you, to help you understand this Marvel Cinematic Universe. One of the first things you should know, guys, is that these movies are connected. The characters you see in the Avengers are the ones that are all connected. Now you're probably wondering, well, what movie do I start with first? Should I start with the Hulk? First of all, when you're thinking of the Hulk, you're not talking about the one with Eric Bana. You're talking about the one with Edward Norton. That's number one. That's the good Hulk movie. And number two, that's the one that really is connected to the Avengers. With that being said, what movie do you start with? There are two ways you can start Phase 1. Phase 1, the order of Phase 1, the way they were released, was Iron Man 1, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America, the First Avenger, ending it all with the Avengers. So that's 6 movies already that Marvel released and had great success with, and they're still doing great today, right? Now you can watch them in that order, or you can watch them in this order. I like when I do my Avengers marathon, Phase 1 so far. I've had my marathon like this. I started with Captain America first, because the reason is because Captain America, the majority of the movie, besides the first 1 minute of the film and the last 2-3 minutes of the film, the good majority of the movie takes place in the 1940s during World War II. So to me, that should be the first one viewed. You don't have to go that way, because all these films, except for Iron Man and Iron Man 2, all these films don't really connect. They stand well on their own. It would be interesting to see someone watch Captain America first and then watch all the other ones after, especially to see those connections, because there's things like in Captain America, Howard Stark plays an important role. Howard Stark is the father of Tony Stark. Tony Stark is Iron Man. And that's some of the cool connections that you'll see with these films and as they continue. And little references, like I know the serum that Captain America uses to to inject himself with to become Captain America, that serum is brought back in The Incredible Hulk and used for the main villain in that movie. There's also a reference to Thor in the beginning of Captain America, when the Red Skull finds the cube in the beginning. That cube will play a part in the Avengers, but what's the connection to Thor is that the Red Skull references Odin, who is the father of Thor, played by Anthony Hopkins in Thor. So those are some of the little connections that you'll see throughout the films that are really fun Easter eggs if you're looking out for the details and stuff like that. So yeah, Captain America would be my first movie. Then I'd go to Iron Man. Then I'd go to Iron Man 2. Then Thor. Then the Hulk. The reason why I'd leave The Incredible Hulk for last is because there's a scene at the end that kind of indicates that it takes place after this. Especially if you watch the short that's on the Thor DVD. There's a little short film called The Consultant. It was really to just get people pumped up for the Avengers. And also because at the end of Iron Man 2, he becomes the consultant. That's what Nick Fury labels him as. We want you as a consultant. And that's how I view that ending. So you can view it like that. But then in the Avengers, they also say, it's been a little bit over a year since you turned into the Hulk. Which means it could take place still after Iron Man 1. But that maybe that little ending scene there takes place after Iron Man 2. So either way you watch it, I think it's fine. You still get the story across. You still see the connections, and you still get the idea. I don't think you have to be an idiot to not understand this. This is easy to follow stuff if you're paying attention. And then you have the movies after the Avengers, which is Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, and Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which just came out this past April. Yeah, those movies are pretty simple. They literally follow the Avengers in that role. Now, some of you are probably wondering, what about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Do I have to be worried about that? You know, just like the movies, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. really... The only thing that really connects it is Coulson's death from the Avengers. And sorry for the spoiler, everybody. I know I'm spoiling a lot, but, you know, I kind of have to for this one. Yeah, Coulson dies in the Avengers, and but he comes back in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm sure if you guys saw Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you already know that, but if you saw the commercials, you know that Coulson is in the movies, and he's also in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You're probably wondering how, though. I won't spoil that. But I will say, you don't have to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, the first handful of episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. suck anyways. That show really gets good towards when the Winter Soldier, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, when that shakes things up, because S.H.I.E.L.D. plays a role in that movie, and the things that happen in the Winter Soldier affect the TV show at the same time. And I'm not going to spoil what happens in the Winter Soldier, but if you watch it, you'll know. And I totally recommend Captain America: The Winter Soldier, because it is a really great movie, one of the best Marvel films that they have done. Not as good as the Avengers, but definitely my third favorite film. I hold Thor in high regard because I just love the world of Thor and the world that they created and the characters there. So I think Thor adds a richness to the universe of Marvel right now. So yeah, guys, those are the films, and Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm sure, will take place sometime after Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and that one I don't even think you have to worry about yet. Marvel did confirm it will be connected to the Avengers, but Avengers 3, which we don't even know the date to that one yet. We only know Avengers 2 is coming out next year. So, and that one will take place after whatever, Guardians of the Galaxy. So all these films are connected to each other, and that's the fun of these films, is that how they connect to each other, the references to one another. And I think that's, if you are planning on watching those films, watch in that order that I said. Start or watch it in the movie order. It doesn't really matter which way. But I just gave you two great options. And yeah, after the Avengers, it gets easy. It really is just the way they were released. So I guess that's all, guys. And like this video if it was useful to you. You know, if it actually helped you. Okay, this is where I'm gonna start. The great thing about these movies, though, is even if you don't want to watch all of them, if you just want to watch the Iron Man movies, the Avengers connects to all of them. So if I was going to have an Iron Man marathon, for an example, I'd watch Iron Man 2, The Avengers, and then Iron Man 3. So you can skip all the others. That's the great thing about these movies. And even Thor, you know, you could watch Thor, The Avengers, and Thor: The Dark World. And you know what? The great thing about this is that Thor, it literally, if you watch Thor, The Avengers, and Thor: The Dark World, it's literally a low-key Thor trilogy already. There's your movies, guys. If like I said, if you like this, if this was helpful to you, please like this video, and subscribe to my channel. I'm always talking about movies, and I'm doing my own little short films, so they're not perfect, but I'm trying to perfect them as I continue on with my little side career, my little hobby. I'm calling it a hobby, and you know, I'm gonna try some different things too, not just movie. Well, I'll try to keep it movie related, but yeah, keep up with me, and follow me on Twitter @CrazyDavy, @iCrazyDavy. Don't follow Crazy Davy because I don't know him. Follow iCrazyDavy on Twitter, and that's it. Okay, ciao.